So one of the things the Naruto series has been criticized for very heavily, and even the creator himself, Masashi Kishimoto, has came out and said was his weakness, was the romance in the story. A lot of the characters, their relationships, the way they were established in the romantic aspect definitely didn't feel as though it had enough depth and kind of felt a little inorganic. It didn't feel like it was pushed correctly. And you know, the creator himself, Masashi Kishimoto, has came out on several different interviews and said that that's one of his weaknesses. He doesn't know how to really do the romance side of things. He didn't understand how to write Sakura from that perspective, and it definitely showed. But the creator of Naruto is back with his new series, Samurai 8: The Tale of Hachi Maru, and boy did he step up his pen game in that department. Let's talk about it. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. Okay, so 39 chapters in, Samurai 8: The Tale of Hachi Maru is continuing to come out swinging. Not only is the action incredible, not only has the art stepped its game up, but the depth in the relationship between two of the main protagonists has really showcased Masashi Kishimoto's ability to write romance and how he leveled up from the Naruto series. Now, in case you don't know about Samurai 8, one of the aspects of the series is that the samurai of the story, and in particular the main character Hachi Maru, they essentially have a princess that is kind of like a destined thing in a way. Like, that's how they get some of their power. The princess goes on the journey, the princess prays for them, and it's kind of like a staple to each samurai in order to be truly great, to have a promised princess. And one of the things about the relationship that for a bit was, it was kind of like, hey, okay, so this is his princess, he's supposed to protect her, and it was, simple as. It didn't really dive deep into, well, why are they together? Is it just that, hey, that's the samurai and that's the princess? And Masashi Kishimoto, in the last few chapters leading up to, we're roughly 39 chapters, I want to say 40 chapters into the manga, is that the development between the two has just been pushed very heavily. And again, it just showcases, coming from Naruto, where again, Masashi Kishimoto admitted he was not good in that department. It showed. I mean, Naruto and Hinata's development as a couple really could have been done better. It was like not up until the last moment that Naruto reciprocated feelings in a movie at that. It wasn't even in the main manga. And then Sakura and Sasuke's relationship, it was like, hey, he stabbed her through the chest and then she gave him a kid. So there's definitely problematic aspects when you look at those relationships. But then you come to Samurai 8, and boy, Masashi Kishimoto just knows now. He's understood his era and he's making waves. Because one of the characters that was recently introduced to the story, Goku, a character named Goku, he kind of edged into making somewhat of a, not necessarily this, but like kind of a love triangle, because he kind of made Hachi Maru start feeling a little bit insecure about his relationship with Anne, the main female protagonist. She's supposed to be, promised to Hachi Maru, and up until this point they've been going on a journey and he's been trying his best to protect her, but it started making her question certain aspects, because her relationship with Hachi Maru, one of the things that kind of made her get drawn to him was, wow, he reminds me of my brother. And she went through a lot with her brother. Her brother actually committed suicide, trying to become a true samurai, but it didn't work out and he died. And it was one of the things where it's like, well, that's my protector. And with Hachi Maru, from his point of view, it was like, well, that's my promised princess. I gotta protect the princess. This character Goku and how he was kind of interacting with Anne made Hachi Maru jealous and made him feel like, well, damn, I'm good too. What's going on? And kind of made them distant for a small bit of time. And then it started bringing up the question to Anne, like, do you like me? Do you want to protect me? Or do you want to protect the princess? Is it just about the title and what I bear and all of that? Or is it that you truly rock with me? And that's definitely a level of depth already that just in the original Naruto story never really was delved into. Like, again, in the last minute, Naruto got with Hinata and he liked Sakura for the illest minute. It was like, okay, let's smack this all together at the very end. We're 39 chapters in the story, and Hachi Maru is dealing with real substance within this relationship, because they both have their doubts and their insecurities. While one, Anne, is looking at it like, yo, do you like me? Or is it just that you feel like you're obligated to like me because I'm your princess? And then on Hachi Maru's side of things, he's like, well, yo, I'm not your brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to protect you like your brother. I'm going to protect you like me, Hachi Maru. Which I also felt like in a way was doubling up with the meaning with Masashi Kishimoto saying, this isn't Naruto, this is Samurai 8, baby. And I just definitely had to applaud the strides and the growth of as a writer that Masashi Kishimoto has had coming from his previous series. Don't get me wrong, Naruto mega hit. I love the relationship he has with Hinata, especially when you see little times that you do see in Boruto, them together and interacting. It's like, yo, it was great that Naruto got a piece of happiness with his wife and having kids, etc., etc. But again, it just lacked substance. It didn't feel natural the way it was kind of put together. It was just like a last minute thing. With these two, they're developing as this roller coaster ride of a story continues. They're starting to understand a little more and get into, it's not just about titles, it's about you. And since we're so early in the journey as well, it feels as though it's truly building a bond. So when we go, 139 chapters, 100 chapters later, assuming the series makes it, we're gonna be looking at it as, well, shit, they started addressing things about the relationship early on, so it won't just feel like it's slapped together. And it also now starts breaking away from just being like, oh, samurai and his princess. Now it's Hachi Maru and Anne. The love that they're starting to develop, the relationship that they're starting to develop is about the qualities that they like within each other, and not, again, just about preconceived notions and just like a flat surface of like, hey, this is this, this is that. I like that. Because to be honest with you, there's not many shonen manga that even tackle that type of idea, like with the relationships in general. Usually relationships is like a last thought when it comes to romantic relationships. It's kind of like, okay, that's there, and they usually back in the day especially would just tease it and tease it and tease it, and then again, like you look at Naruto or Bleach, they at the end of the story get the relationship that was just barely teased throughout it. This one is actually confronting it head on and putting it as a central piece, because your princess, you know what I'm saying? You can't just have like, oh, that's a princess. Like, it's almost like if they didn't start addressing this, then it would kind of be like one of those things like when like kings marry off their sons to women and shit like that, because again, there would be no like connection between the two. And I feel as though that character Goku was very, very important to piecing that together. You needed to add a little bit to make Hachi Maru feel as though like, whoa, maybe this can't last forever. Maybe it's not just because she's my fated princess that she's going to be mine. I need to look at it further and deeper. And it just shows his development as a character. Like, we're only 39 chapters in, and he went from a sniveling, snot-nosed brat to this dude is looking freaking cool. You know what I'm saying? And he's manning up already and getting into this relationship with Anne and looking at it from different perspectives. That is character development and a half. And then likewise with Anne, she's had this weight on her shoulders and felt as though like, man, is it because of just he reminds me of my brother? So diving into that and kind of tackling those issues is great. It showcases Samurai 8 is Kishimoto, probably his gem. Honestly, we love Naruto and it's nostalgic, and I still love the Boruto manga at this particular point. Anime is a different story. Manga's it's awesome and all that jazz, but Samurai 8 is just showcasing Masashi Kishimoto's maturity as an author, as a creative, and how he's starting to understand like, yo, I can't just slap these things together at the last minute anymore. I did that in a 15-20 year run of a series. This one, he's doing the groundwork now, so it feels more believable. So 50 chapters from now, when things is happening, it's not just, I need to protect the princess, like if we're in some 80s rescue the princess manga. No, I need to protect my girlfriend, I need to protect my wife, I need to protect Anne. And again, I gotta applaud and praise that. Like, shonen manga, minus maybe like Fairy Tail, don't really address relationships in a romantic aspect, because like they don't want to shoo away the young boy readers. But I think that's all relative, especially with this type of story and the structure that was set forth of having the princess being important, your master, and all of that jazz. Is like, yeah, let's get in the nitty gritty of it. Let's develop these relationships. Let's show the development of these characters in these relationships. So it's not just like, oh, again, like some 80s rescue the princess shit. Like, nah, we've evolved beyond that. But I'm curious what you guys think about this, though. For those that don't read Samurai 8, you should read Samurai 8. It's freaking awesome. How do you feel about those relationships back in the day where Naruto and Hinata, how they got together in a movie that wasn't in the manga, and then likewise with Sakura and Sasuke's relationship and how they kind of got together at the last minute despite all the dramatic shit that Sasuke did? Do you feel as though they felt any type of genuine? I feel as though to a certain degree, if you look at Sasuke and Sakura's relationship, you could argue that kind of shows a resemblance, at least before Boruto. Like, after you get into Boruto and you see truly how Sasuke feels, is a different story, but it almost felt like a modern day toxic relationship that led to some happiness, I guess, down the road. And Naruto and Hinata's, it just felt like too last minute. Despite Hinata having these feelings, Naruto, when he first said, yeah, I love Hinata, he thought he was talking about, like, I love the way I love eating ramen. And for Samurai 8 readers that have read Naruto, how do you feel coming from that, seeing those relationships, the romance and how they were handled, coming to this and seeing how Hachi Maru and Anne's relationship is developing? Do you see the growth? Do you see where Masashi Kishimoto has rose to the occasion and grew as an author? Because I see it and it's awesome and I had to praise it. I mean, it's just the evolution of an author, and coming from a big hit series and trying to do it again and doing it at this level, I rocks with it. But that's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. Oh, and by the way, excluding the romance stuff, yo, Ata is heading in. We got Daruma, we got his boy there. Like, shit is getting crazy in the action department. I just had to fanboy out real quick, like, till the next one.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go, admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace. Last time, I'ma say last time. Moving on to the future, leave the memories as a pastime. Memories always feel like the worst, letting all the past, leave it in a hearse. Sometimes I wanna lie, but I don't. Why lie when truthfully you get caught in it? Then usually it's all off and shit, uncalled for shit. Now I'm off the shit. Maybe lately what I've been facing got me crazy. No, I can't take it. Maybe Real talk.